Hi everyone, this is an update, a sort of second part to the Fingertricks video I made a couple of days ago. Basically, somebody commented asking if I could maybe give some examples of how you would use these basic finger tricks in the solve. I also had someone on the Discord asking about how you would use sledge and hedge and how you'd finger trick those. So we're going to go over some of those basic finger tricks here. I do apologize, it wasn't really in the purview of the original video to discuss, exactly how all these finger tricks apply, but I see that was an oversight. So let's start with, if we're in home grip and we want to do sledge. Sledge is this, so it's R prime, L, R, L prime. Now, how I have always done sledge is like this, which is where I actually re-grip slightly so that my thumb is here. And I do R prime like this. The L prime is done like a U prime. Sorry, the L is done like a sort of trick like a U. And then R, like normal, U prime with the index finger. So, problem with this is that I'm kind of soft re-gripping and rotating the puzzle to do it. So I asked Chris Choi, who I think is a really good example for this finger trick, how he does it. And the way he does it is he does his R prime, kind of like this. I'm going to struggle with this, so forgive me. Does his R prime like this, and then his L he pushes with his index, so he pushes down here, and then he's in the perfect place to do his R, and his L prime is as you would expect. So his finger is all the way down, like over here, and he pushes it that way, brings it up. So you can see I'm struggling with that because I want to put my thumb up here. He doesn't do that. He doesn't actually re-grip his thumb up there. He keeps his thumb down here. So I invite you to take a look at some of his solves to see how he does stuff. Likewise, when he does his hedge and sledge, he actually, this is another one. So this is reverse sledge or whatever it's called. R, B prime, R prime, B. The way I do it is I kind of have it's less of a re-grip than with sledge. I'm in home grip and then I just bring my thumb up here. So R is done like normal, U prime as normal, and then my thumb is doing the R prime so that when I do the B, it's done like a U with the index finger. This is why I prefer reverse hedge to sledge, because for whatever reason this is slightly more comfortable, probably because it's in home grip. Chris doesn't seem to do that. Instead, he's in home grip, so like this, and then he does R like normal, B prime like normal, and then he comes up like this, and then he does more of a push than a pull. So whereas I'm kind of keeping the FTO rotated like this, Chris can keep it in corner orientation like that. Which again, you can see I'm struggling with to execute this. So I certainly think Chris is someone whose finger tricks are worth looking into. Don't just learn them from me. Obviously no one's perfect. So, look at many other solvers, slow them down. I did have to ask Chris to send me a video of him doing it slowly because I found it really hard. Another thing I noticed, when he scrambles, he does his F prime with his index finger as a push, like this. So perhaps this is a finger trick that I need to work on, is adding this to my arsenal so that I can do, U primes with a push, like that. I talked about when you're doing your corner pot and doing a U move with pushes, but what about U prime? So that was interesting to have a look at. So the first thing is with sledge, how I normally do it, re-grip like this. So bring your index to the back, thumb to the front, and then for hedge, pushing forwards with the thumb, U prime like normal. Thumb helps me bring down the R prime, which means that I have space for my finger to perform the U at the end. So those are hedge and sledge. So when you're performing your pure two flip, which is hedge, followed by sledge. I kind of have this soft regrip. I have this regrip. I mean, sorry, it's not a soft regrip. It's a full regrip in there. Whereas for someone like Chris, it's less so. It's less pronounced because he's in the same grip the whole time. So like here, and then his left hand changes, but his right hand doesn't. My hands change for both. So again, that's something to look into. I do apologize, knocking my music stand, holding my camera. Okay. Then we're going to talk about how the Fingertricks change between steps of the solve. So I'm going to scramble the puzzle. This is the nearest scramble I have written down. So this is an easy scramble. So for this one, to build the center is just a U move, or indeed in this case a B move. And then let's say that we didn't have these three pairs. We could do, for our first triple, we could have our hands, you know, we've done B like this, and then we'll match up the reds here. So we do U, R, and U. So I'm in home grip, I do U and R, I'm out of home grip, and then U prime, and then maybe I'll do a rotation. Let's say that this is the next one we're going to work on, because again, we're just pretending this doesn't exist. So this one is solved with R prime, U prime, R. R prime, U prime, R. How do we finger trick that? So I'm not staying in home grip for this. I bring my thumb up for the R prime, and I'm pushing with my ring finger, U prime, and then I re-grip again for that. So it's actually, maybe it's not the most perfect execution, but it doesn't seem to really cost me much time to do it. Obviously we would use this triple, but that doesn't matter for this. And then here, I want to insert this. There's two ways. I could do BL prime, and then, what is that, BR prime or something? Or you can do R wide prime and U. And that's more comfortable for me. Regrip, do your R wide by holding the whole layer and just pushing down on this edge and pulling up on this edge with your ring finger, like that. And then my fingers are in place to perform the U move. So then I've got, you know, my first center. So I see that these two will make a large trap. So I could do RO and then R prime to match them. And you'll see that while I'm in that sort of, I'm kind of, because it was there, wasn't it? And as I'm doing it, I'm in home grip and I roll through and bring the thumb down. But I don't, because I know I'm going to do an R prime, I don't bring the thumb down and instead perform the R prime move and then put these guys in the middle slice. Now I know that the triangle's back here somewhere. It's in one of these two. I didn't see where, so it's down there. This one's up here, so I would probably do an R wide. See, they're both here. I remember the edges there. So I know that if I do a U move, these guys. So what I've done is a U move in home grip, and then I've re-gripped to do my R prime, like this. So R prime, I'm now in comfortable home grip, U, R, out of home grip, and then my thumb comes down to get me back in home grip so that I can do R, U, R prime like that. So the R, tilting forward or rolling forward, and then U, R prime to bring it comfortably back, like this. I need to orient this center, so R wide, again, I'm rolling it like an R move, then U prime, and then I probably would do another R wide so that I tuck it away. So here, this center's got to be gray, not green. So there's different options here, but I mean, the first thing I spotted was making a large trap with these guys. Actually, no, that sucks. My mistake, it would be with these two. So I'm not really with it today. So maybe I'll do that. Make these two, large trap with these two. So U. So again, I'm in home grip, U. And then I'm ready with an R move. R prime, U, R, U. And this point here, I'm going to have to regrip, which is fine. For the R wide prime. And then, you know, middle finger or index finger can do the U move. R brings that hand up like this. U, R prime puts it back to home grip. U prime, R, U, R prime. Orient the center, R wide, orient the center. I hope that made some sense. I know it's not perfect. For this step, I find my Fingertricks are slightly better if I stay in this orientation with the block on the left, which is harder for some people. I found it harder to learn initially, but it just means that when I'm executing my sledges and stuff, I'm keeping it with edge in front. So, R prime, U, R, U prime, and then R to match these guys up. So technically, that's whatever that was. That is actually technically R prime L like this, but from this angle it would be F prime U, F U prime R, and then insert it, and then I'd rotate to match these guys up. So here, you just need hedges and sledges for the last 3 triples, or pair formation rather. So I'm going to match up these 2 guys like this, whoop, and then match up these 2 with hedge and U, and now I'm into my pair formation stage, and then it's just TCP to finish. So I hope that's at least somewhat useful. It's not the most comprehensive because, I'll be completely honest, I don't really know if I'm doing the best Fingertricks, and I haven't had a chance to carefully analyze frame by frame exactly what I do, and I'm not sure I will go into that much depth. However, this is just sort of show some examples. So for example, that when you're making your first 2 triples and you've got, these 2 here, so like matching these guys would be R prime, so regrip R prime U, regrip R prime. Or if I'm matching these 2 guys up, then R prime U prime R prime again, that kind of thing. Yeah, I fear that this has not been the most helpful sort of explanation. So I do apologize for that. But say we're on the last bottom triple again, I've got these 2 to flip. If I did regrip here, then I'm using the sledge that I described, but it's so much easier and faster. I find the Fingertricks are better if the first block's here, to do your sledge like this, and then another sledge will match these guys up at the back, and then I can just insert, that sort of thing. And then I'm keeping rotations to a minimum. And yeah, maybe my hedge and whatever is not the fastest, but there is some sort of benefit in keeping it all in one orientation for a lot of it. I hope that wasn't too rambly. I hope that was helpful. Leave any questions in the comments below. Any suggestions for other videos I can make in the series. There are videos covering the Fingertricks for individual algorithms, but I'm more than happy to take a stab at some of the ones we haven't seen yet. But again, I don't think I'm the best when it comes to Fingertricks. I think I have a lot to learn. So hopefully this is insightful to an extent, but I don't feel like I'm the most qualified person on the topic. Thanks for watching.